It's chat time with Chunk and Cucumber and your host, Dino.
Hi, everybody.
Up. Morning.
Welcome to Chat Time. I'm your host, as always, Dino, and with me, of course, is Chunk and Cucumber and Ryan's forehead.
I'm the cucumber one.
I'm Chuck.
I'm the
I
forehead.
like spacing it out so you know who's who. So we take that upon ourselves.
We have a special guest with us, as you can see. Melissa Doss, welcome. Melissa and I actually go way back. We went to community college together and did theater, and she is incredibly talented and wonderful. And we will find out more about her in a moment, because I would like to start with, as always, but how do you feel? Transition. Oh yeah, we have transitions sometimes.
Okay.
Sometimes.
So, but how do you feel for those of you that are new? If you are new, we will describe how we're feeling, but using different things rather than regular words. So today, because it's a stressful few days, and it'll probably be stressful for another few days, I would like to use comfort food. How are you feeling using comfort food?
Ooh.
And why? Yes, Cucumber.
A bucket of Elbows gluten-free mac and cheese with truffle oil and shrimp and chicken and mushrooms.
Wow.
And mushrooms.
Mushroom.
Fancy.
Why?
I
why
may have
that?
ordered this more than once for myself as comfort food. Listen, you want I'm ready.
Oh man.
Yeah, you're pretty high stress like all the time.
Yeah, I know, so imagine me now.
It is the same meal every day.
Hey, if it works, it works.
It's true. It's true.
Can we get him like a gift certificate to like a massage place or like a pedicure or something?
Or
Ooh,
dispensary.
yeah, no.
I believe if you voted, if you bring in your voted sticker, you can get a free like hydro massage at Planet Fitness.
That's
What?
not a real thing. And why the fuck would I go to a gym right now? I don't want to die.
Yeah, you can go lay into something where somebody's laid 1,000 times before.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't know. If there's a different hydro massage, they're just going to shoot you with a pressure hose.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in. Let's go. I found the
like
marble in the
Cucumber
oatmeal.
Let's see. I've got one. Yeah. So my favorite comfort food, especially locally, is this amazing ramen place called Hiro Nori. And anytime I need to just like feel comfort, I just have a big bowl of ramen, and it's delicious, and I kind of want it right now. Yeah.
Nice.
It's really nice. That sounds really good. It's right. It's there by the studio.
No, it's
What-
in
what
North
broth do you
Long
like?
Beach.
Oh God.
What kind of ramen?
Oh, yeah.
What's your go-to? What's
What do
in
you-
the
what's in
bowl?
there?
It's tonkatsu, 2 eggs, bean sprouts. It's got a nice large seaweed paper on it. It's yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Gave up
Yeah,
on that.
give Ryan about 30 minutes. He'll wake up.
He's getting there. He's getting there. I think I'm feeling. Oh gosh, we had a fondue the other day during election night.
Ooh,
and
do you
yeah,
fondue?
I do fondue. I'm lactose intolerant, but I fondued anyway.
I had pizza yesterday. We'll talk about it later.
You what?
I had pizza yesterday. We'll talk about it later.
We'll talk about it later. Okay.
It was, I don't know how it's gonna go.
But yeah, I'm feeling fondue because there's lots of different things that can go in there, and whatever you need to make yourself feel good, it's in there. So
Whatever I need, Dino.
hey, fondue, you can do whatever you want with fondue. It'll work.
It might hurt,
You
but
can fondue it.
That's right. I love it.
Melissa, please.
Melissa can stay. Chunk, what about you? What do you feel? Chunk and
Mine's gonna sound real boring, but it is my ultimate comfort food. It's just soup. You can give me any kind of soup, Morning, afternoon, nighttime. I will eat any kind, well, most kinds of soups. Not any kind of soup, but most kinds of soup. I'll take some pozole in the morning, for dinner, a little tomato soup in the lunch. I could eat soup all the time.
That sounds really good.
I feel like that's problematic with the fur, no?
You
It's
just
just-
gotta be careful. You put a straw sometimes.
Oh,
Straws, big spoons with a little bit of.
Remember those special cereal spoons you could get in the box that were also straws? Those were.
Yeah, great.
Yes.
those were awesome.
At the straw, so you go.
Yeah, the bowls with a straw.
Oh shit. Well, that's the next generation. I'm talking old school.
It evolved. You know, why put the straw in the spoon? We can just put it directly into the bowl, you know?
Yeah.
Exactly. What about you,
yeah.
Melissa? Yeah.
For those of you who are around the Burbank, Glendale areas, I'm feeling very much like a potato ball from Portos.
They're in OC now, too.
Mhm.
And oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like everything you need on one, carbs and meat, nice meaty center. You can take it to go. So if you're in a panic and you're running, you grab your potato ball and you go.
Yeah. And they taste good cold, too. Like, it's perfect.
Yes. The ultimate walk away food. They've got everything.
I love it. Man, I really want Portos now. Oh, man. I'm going up to Burbank today to see hi to my family.
Oh.
Yeah. You're home, huh? You're not.
No, I'm going to be working in Burbank today, very close to your family home, actually.
Yay. Okay, we'll talk about that later. Sorry, guys.
Someone's getting Portos today.
I'm getting. There's some great things in the chat for comfort food here. Irish cream cheesecake. That sounds delicious.
Is that like drunk cheesecake? Like Bailey's cheesecake?
That would be awesome.
I would eat
Yeah. I mean, you'd probably just eat the Baileys, drink the Baileys, and then have cheesecake too.
Yeah, but when are we gonna get to the studio?
You know what?
that. We were.
It's not too late.
Nothing.
Ryan, go get.
You're cutting out.
Cutting.
Cutting out, chunk.
Oh, oh.
Oh no, tech issues, and it's not me this time.
Ba-boom.
Give it time.
Nope.
Other plastic soup, stone soup.
Stone soup.
Stone Soup! Greatest picture book ever. Also delicious always. All you need is a stone and a little bit of salt. Maybe a little bit of vegetables. Did you guys read this
and
book?
then everybody else has their own little thing to it. A little potato, a little dirt.
But the moral of the story is to be a con person.
What?
You go to a village and you convince them to give them all of your food or all of their food.
That's amazing. Take note, kids.
You gotta
Calling your
hustle.
neighbors and friends out of food.
That's right.
Lucas Martinez said favorite cereal mascot. Go. Ooh.
Oh.
Favorite cereal
Tony the
mascot.
Tiger.
It's a
He's
classic.
great.
He's always positive. You know, ready to
You know,
go.
he was almost a kangaroo.
Was he?
What?
Yeah, Tony, during like the weird, crazy. I listened to this like 8-part series on the cereal wars between like Post and General Mills and shit. And
Cereal
yeah,
wars.
they had everyone vote between Tony the Tiger and I forgot the kangaroo's name, but it was either Tony the Tiger or this kangaroo. Obviously, Tony won,
Well.
but glad it wasn't the kangaroo.
Also, cereal wars sounds like I really hope that was like an actual war somewhere. And they like had to fight over like oatmeal and grain and stuff, and they just
Yeah, they throw grape nuts in your eyes.
they had like shredded wheat launchers.
That would kill me twice.
So I had to look it up, and apparently there was also 2 other characters they were voting between as well. So it was Caddy the kangaroo, Elmo the
Yeah.
elephant, and Newt the New.
Newt the new.
Ew.
The
That would
New.
have been cool.
Couldn't
Yeah,
even tell
there's,
you what
uh,
it looks
You
like.
can see.
I also like elephants. Oh, that kangaroo looks weird. Does he have a scarf? What a
It does.
dick.
With a dick.
No, you're fine. Kangaroos with scars are dicks.
Back pedal, back pedal, back pedal.
But you're probably wearing it because, it's a little cold. It's a little. That kangaroo's not cold. He's got fur. That kangaroo.
What's that scarf doing for the kangaroo? It's up on his neck. It's like
Yeah,
It's
it's
not
like a
helping him.
fashion element, not actually keeping him warm.
I really,
How'd I do? Am I out of the woods yet?
nope, not yet. I really liked it when Cinnamon Toast Crunch had the 3 chefs. Before that one chef
Yeah.
murdered the other 2, and they disappeared forever.
And then they became squares.
That's in my head. It is.
it's got to be.
I guess fucking Toucan Sam. I want to see the Tricks Rabbit, but he's just depressing. Like I like
Yeah.
the Tricks
Yeah, nobody wants to hang out with him.
Who was it? Just Ducky said old school Snap Crackle Pop. I do like Snap Crackle and Pop. They were fun.
What do they do?
I don't know. They were just silly, and they hung out together. They were nice guys. Just
Keebler elves that went AWOL. They're not special.
they went rogue and made cereal instead of cookies.
Yeah.
Yeah. The black sheep of the family.
No, guys, the family business is cookies and crackers. Well, we want cereal. No, guys, we're gonna do cereal.
Yeah. We want cereal without sugar, without anything fun.
Maybe they were the group of elves who had celiac as well, like because they were using rice material instead.
Yeah. Puffed rice. Yeah.
Oh, my people.
Your people.
What about the Quaker Oats guy? I'll take him.
What about him? What does he do?
He's
He
a
doesn't even
Quaker.
let-
He's chill as fuck.
Are we going for an old school definition of like cereal? Like,
Yeah. I
Cereal,
guess
it
they have
counts.
They have Quaker cereal. I think.
Did you just look up the most boring mascots ever, and you went down the line and found that one?
Well, here's the deal. Try spending like an entire day with Toucan Sam. You'd strangle that fucking bird. You hang out with
True.
the Quaker guy, you're just going to have a nice, quiet conversation and go about your business.
And then he's going to talk to you about how, you're too liberal and that you have to start. You can't. There's too much violence in the city.
That's fine. He's old. I can take him.
So you hang out with him until you're sick of him and he tries to change who you are, and then you just beat the shit out of him.
Well, I mean, that's kind of my policy with anybody. Don't tell me who to be.
Good to know. Good to know.
talk show.
Welcome, Melissa. Oh man.
This show's definitely not gonna be on Sci-Fi.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you want it to, sci-fi, because we're
Sci-Fi,
ready
we'll
to
go. We'll do it. We'll do it.
Production is ready.
Anything for money.
Plug us in.
I think I want to go with Lucky the Leprechaun, or go classic. Go classic.
Yeah.
I was a big fan after they put out Lucky Charms cereal with the cereal being chocolate. Game changer.
Oh.
Game changer.
What?
Yes.
I didn't even see
Chocolate
that.
Cereal and marshmallows. Party. Total.
That sounds
party.
amazing.
Yeah. Or Count Chocula, because who doesn't like a specialty cereal?
Yeah. Let's so we've been talking a lot about random crap for the last 15 minutes, and I want to talk about Melissa. Melissa, tell us what you do. Tell us what you spend your time with. Give us a little rundown, and we're going to talk more about it, obviously. But
Sure. So, painting in broad strokes, I am a special effects makeup artist and fabricator. Boiling that down, I am a furry friend, life bringer, and
She is a holy one.
I love it.
and so I spend most of my time doing stuff like that. I also do wardrobe for like rock bands. So that's fun too. I have a very varied portfolio because you got to hustle if you want to make money.
I remember.
So I'm currently right now working at Henson's Creature Shop. at the Jim Henson's Creature Shop.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very specific. You have to say which Henson, of course.
Yeah, because there's like 16 of them.
There are a lot of Hensons. A lot of them have their own company things going on. So yeah, you do have to kind of be specific.
Well, I know you mentioned rock band, but I know this. But which rock band do you work with?
I work for the band Kiss.
Hell yeah!
Oh. Nice.
That crazy cool armor they wear?
Yes. So not the current armor that Gene's wearing, but his last armor that he had. I actually fabricated along with some close friends of mine, but I got to be the sketch artist for it. I got to do all the original sculpts. I got to be lead fabricator on it, and then got to go out for 6 weeks on tour with Kiss and Def Leppard, making sure it all worked.
So freaking cool.
It's so cool. When I saw that you were doing that, I remember it being like, what the, like, you were already doing cool things, but like that was like the cherry on the cake too. And like, I was like, oh man, this girl is awesome.
What is life? No one will ever be more surprised, I think, than my parents finding out that their eldest daughter was going out with a band that they heard when they were in high school.
I know your parents, and I can imagine that conversation.
Like,
that's really great. Oh God. Excuse me. You've done so many cool things, and when I first met you, you were working with Total Fabrication, right?
good memory or good
Is that it?
deep dive. Holy
Yeah, that was way
smokes.
back in the day.
Over 10 years ago.
Yeah. But I know
Wow.
you've done a lot of really cool things, and since then, I remember when you were debating doing prosthetics. Do you remember that?
Yeah, so I over at the very first shop that I worked for, the first shop that I officially worked for as an employee was Total Fabrications, and right before that, I was working for an effects company called Soda Effects, and it was kind of an interesting transition because I was doing community college and wasn't sure if I should go to a specialty makeup school or anything, and started doing the internship there, and kind of got run ragged, as you do when you're an intern, right? You gotta pay your dues and everything. And they shared a workspace with Total Fabrications, and at one point they're like, hey, yeah, if you ever have free time or you want to like come over and start fabricating, let us know. And so I told the owner of the company I was interning for, and he was like, if they want to pay you, go.
That's great.
Yeah, that kind of like spurred on the beginnings of my foam fabrication, creature building. I'm really, really happy though that I've been able to, throughout this time, keep a balance of makeup and makeup effects and fabrication.
Yeah.
Really, really important to me to be able to do both. Kind of feel like I'm honoring my teacher, John Hanna.
I'm gonna see him today.
You're gonna see him today?
Yeah, I'm getting my haircut, so I'll tell him you say hi.
Oh my gosh!
I'll talk to him.
Yeah, we need to talk after this, Gino.
Okay, we will. Oh man.
But he is like a second father to me, and I was doing makeup in PCC in his makeup class because I was involved in the theater program. And when I very first met him, I was in a show, and we were down in the makeup room, and I very excitedly announced to him, like, Mr. Hanna, I'm going to be taking your makeup class next semester. And he told me that internally, he was like, okay, little actress. Cool, you're gonna be in my class. Like, great.
Wow.
Like, was very like, uh-huh.
I'm sure you are.
Yeah, and then I was in his class, and before the semester had even ended, he was like, "You're really good at this, and you seem to really love it. Like, would you be interested in trying to get an internship at a shop?" And I was like, "Yes!"
That's so cool.
Very, very cool. So I have to say, like, my career started because of John Hanna. He led me. He was my one connection that led me into the effects industry, and it's kind of snowballed since then. I was very, very thankful for that.
Cucumber, you got your hand up.
I did.
Hi.
And do you have a
Hi.
question?
I did. Hold on.
Sorry.
Just getting it. No, I was.
Forget.
Oh, right. Okay. So the two-layered question: what was your very, very first paid fabrication gig, and what is your most recent paid fabrication gig?
So my very, very first paid fabrication gig was, I think it was doing an Ursula costume for Queen Latifah.
I remember that.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What? I remember that costume.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So Annie Leibovitz did a photo series with celebrities and turning them into Disney characters, and I believe that was my very first paid fabrication job.
Oh wow.
And I hit the ground running. That's fucking dope.
Oh, it wasn't impressive. I made like $8 an hour, I think, doing that, and like working crazy hours.
Jesus. Yikes.
Yeah. Ooh. Like paying your dues is like, ooh.
Yeah.
The
look
nice
at you
way of
now.
saying like, get screwed.
Yeah. I like how very PG that was compared to the rest of the people
Oh.
on the show.
Sorry.
No, it was great. It was great because I know Melissa. It's very much you, and I love it. What was the most recent project then that you got paid for,
So
or that you're getting paid for?
most recent project that I am getting paid for is at the Jim Henson Scrooge Shop. I'm working on Fraggle Rock.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a
Excited.
fun,
Hey,
yeah, fun
Machan,
obscure property.
Yeah.
Machan, thank you for the.
Oh,
thank you for
yeah.
the donation.
Yeah, thank you.
Very much.
Oh, I know you. Hi, Anna. Sorry. Oh, that's fun. Yay. We don't usually get donations, but thank you. I
I have
love
another one. What show did
Yes.
you and Dino do together?
it. Oh, I'll let you answer.
There are more than that. I should shut up soon.
Which
First one.
Which was the
Did we do
first-
Songbook together?
No, I
No.
wasn't in Songbook.
It was just City of Angels, I think.
City of Angels. Yeah. 'Cause
I
you
love
weren't-
that show.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It's so scary. You know it.
You're nothing without me. Yeah, fucking, I love that show.
It's a great
Yeah,
show.
It's fun.
Wow.
I actually want to do that duet with my manager. We're working out the details.
That's so good. Do it. Oh my god. That's perfect.
That is super great. Oh wow. Well done.
Which character did you play? I can't remember her name now. Shoot.
Mallory. I
Mallory.
played
That's
the young,
seductress.
sexy daughter who was out on the lam.
Yeah.
Wait, when was this?
Oh god. 2010?
I was of age.
2009?
No,
Yes.
no, worry about. I'm trying to figure out if I know someone else who was in that show.
At Pasadena City
Oh.
College?
Okay, not Pasadena City College.
Yeah. Like, I'll be very surprised.
I know.
It was around the same time though.
Oh, okay.
Oh wow. Hey, not too shabby.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd
That
have
was
to
fun.
say, in addition, though, the most fun project that I've gotten to be a part of, and to date, the longest project I've been a part of, was Dark Crystal: Age of Resistance. That came out.
Yay.
So good.
Yeah, for those of you that follow us on Instagram, I did post a picture of her with one of her felted friend life-bringing projects.
Don't air quote the word felted friend.
Well, 'cause I don't know how felted he was.
He had no felt, actually.
Yeah, that's why I said that.
Yeah,
And neither
he-
do we. I just
He was a foamage friend.
Helmet friend. Pardon.
He was from latex, yeah.
Yeah,
One
that's
of
awesome.
the Max, one of the little very sad minions that had their lips sewn up shut and
It was so cute. I really like that picture, the one that I used, the one where it's like kissing your cheek. It makes me happy.
It was the last nice thing that he had.
Oh, Jesus. We have a couple questions from the chat here. What are Weird Judge wants to know what your hobbies are.
Oh, hobbies. It's so hard in this industry because it almost turns out that like your hobbies are actually your day job too.
Yeah.
But definitely love doing makeup and makeup effects. I have, since the pandemic, started leaning into video games.
Yeah.
So,
What are you playing?
that's been fun. So this is gonna sound funny, because it's like so hardcore. I just got obsessed with Animal Crossing.
Oh yeah, we know.
That is life.
I got 300 hours
Red
on
if
mine.
you want to sell some stuff.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah. Join our Discord. We do turnip exchanges and stuff.
oh my gosh, I'm super new. I've only had my Switch for like 2 weeks.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we come to the island and
super
just
new.
dump things in your island. It's like here's a bunch of money, here's a bunch of fruit.
Yep.
Recipes.
Digging fossils things. But then I also played The Last of Us, which is so different from.
I don't know. I mean, you're
I-
learning to survive in a place that you don't know very well, you know, hostile things
Gathering
hiding
lots
around
of
every corner.
material. Yeah. Gathering lots of materials.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's neighbors that you might not like, so you try your
100%
very best to get rid of them.
Yeah. Murdering your neighbors and sorry.
You haven't got to that part of Animal Crossing yet, guys?
It's a new DLC
man.
content right there.
Oh man, that'd be so much fun if they turned it into like a slasher flick.
Oh no.
I mean, I worked really, really hard to get like all of the Halloween stuff on Halloween. So I mean, I could just like trick out my island, just spooky vibes, and maybe have, maybe it'll encourage some Animal Crossing mass murderers to show up. I don't know.
Jesus.
Goals,
I love
goals.
it.
Gotta have goals.
Gotta have goals.
Warming up to you guys.
Yeah, it's great. I love it.
Yeah, it didn't take long to corrupt her, did it? So, like, I've only been alive for like 20 minutes.
Yes, I knew this was going to be a great idea. I'm very happy. Adorable Jess wants to know what or who inspired you. You talked about John, but
Yeah.
but anybody else?
Definitely John Hanna, my makeup teacher, super, super awesome. I would say as a kid, one thing that always stands out in my mind as being kind of thinking like, oh, you can have this cool miniature world and it's magical, was watching all the Rankin and Bass Christmas specials. So like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and everything that kind of went from like Jack Frost and all of those. And like, Here Comes Peter Cottontail. Like they had all these holiday specials that were all stop motion animation. And I remember thinking like, somewhere somebody's got this entire world. They've got all these puppets. And in my head, I'm like, they got all these toys. But it just seems such a cool thing that was somebody's job. And then as I started to get older and like middle school and high school, the Men in Black movies.
Yes.
Because those are some of the first DVDs that I remember really being able to watch behind the scenes featurettes and getting to see some of the stuff in the shops, and that, fully encompassed makeup effects and fabrication. So that was hugely inspirational. Just like this was my childhood.
Well, question. How many times have you watched all behind the scenes of Lord of the Rings? Cause I got those memorized now.
I remember that one was a long featurette. Like that was like practically the length of the movies. Like, and that also very, very impressive to see because that made me aware, how crazily aware, that when you create a fantasy world that you have to make every single element, like they were doing blown glass and like porcelain and stoneware and everything, like, you know, to do all the stuff like in the Hobbit's home or in the Hobbit's village, and
Culture and detail.
like just so insane how many people get employed from movies with practical effects, like just and so many specialty crafts that you don't think of. Just in Dark Crystal, for example, we had to open up a satellite shop just because there were so many people involved in production. And at our satellite shop, we had I think there's over 20 or 25 people working in that shop alone. Doing seamstress and, you know, like sewing up costumes, doing leather work, doing quilting, doing cobblery, like making shoes from scratch, millinery, making hats from scratch.
Just learned today the word is cobblery. I'm gonna later.
Not as tasty, but still very artsy
Yes.
as regular cobbler.
Although cobbler does sound really good right now. Speaking of comfort food.
I was like, hit me up with some cobbler. Oh my
Oof.
gosh.
So
Which
good.
reminds me, Dino introduced me to Pie Day.
Oh yeah. Oh, I remember that.
Aww.
Oh, memories.
March 14th. 3,
yeah,
4.
If anybody doesn't know that for some reason, March 14th is 3.14, so that's Pi Day. You're welcome.
Oh!
Not you guys.
Oh,
God damn it,
man.
Cucumber.
And then I had to say, lastly, without a doubt, the Henson Company, right? Because there was dinosaurs and Ninja Turtles and Sesame Street, like, you know,
And Ninja Turtles.
yeah.
And Ninja Turtles.
I remember watching Ninja Turtles and just like as even as an adult, I'm like, how do they do that? That is incredible. You know, even a movie that old, and to like still be like, that's amazing.
Yeah. Oh, hugely so. Hugely so.
Yeah.
Well, and think of the very first Jurassic Park film. I mean, practical effects and early digital effects. It's that movie holds up. Like it's
Oh, yeah.
holds up. It's a beautiful marriage of the two disciplines.
Yeah. It's amazing what they did back then.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
even like Dark Crystal too, the way they combined the two in for the series was incredible and seamless. Like mostly seamless. I feel like it was seamless. I couldn't tell.
I had the opportunity to go to set in England for that.
Ooh.
I only was able to go for one set day, but I went to set. And part of my concern when I was in the building phase of it was that it was going to get so overlaid with digital effects that it'd be like, why did we even make these things? Especially being apart for months and like 9 months, I think I worked on stuff for, like, pretty much, you know, and so being so involved and day after day being so connected and involved with these characters and creatures, I was really worried that was what was going to happen. Going to set, though, all the practical, I mean, they even had some painted backdrops. And of course they put a lot of digital effects as far as the background and creating the world of Thra, just because they wanted to have such big shots and have such big scenes. But the scenes and sets that they had were incredible and insane and so detailed, and they actually had a lot of practical creatures built. So in the US, we built all the Gelflings, all the Podlings, the Mystics, and the Skeksis. So we built pretty much all the main characters. Over in England, in their shops, they did all of the sets and all of the like secondary creatures, so anything helping to really populate the world. got to see them filming with Aughra and the tribes of Gelflings, like in a village. And there was like 20 puppeteers there. If maybe more than 20 puppeteers. And because it's like all these, it's like this Gelfling village. And so there's dozens and dozens of Gelflings and Aughra and everything. And looking on monitor, I got choked up and like my eyes welled up seeing the lighting and seeing them. And I mean, there was no digital effects yet. There was no cleanup. There was no, and you know, it was just the lighting and it was them acting. And it was all of those things having that breath of life in them. And it was just incredible and magical. And I left that feeling like so inspired and so overwhelmed. And then there was this shadow of like, yeah, but when you go to see it, like, who knows what they're going to do to it? Like, who knows, you know, how it's going to go in, you know, after it's been run through with effects and everything else.
Yeah.
And I was so pleasantly surprised with the series that as far as the puppets themselves are considered, like they had minimal digital, like just to sweeten things up. And obviously there was like, you know, backdrops and things like that, but it was truly a felted friend, foamed friend series, you know, and it was so beautiful and so wonderful. And I was able to stay awake for all of the episodes, unlike the original where I definitely fell asleep before I got through it.
I don't blame you a little bit.
We don't admit this out loud.
It's Dark Crystal, though.
I know. And an amazing feat, too, because I believe it's still the only feature-length film that's all puppets.
There is another.
Oh, really?
So there's a Swedish marionette film called Strings.
Oh, Strings.
Which is a feature-length film. It's beautiful. Really, really, really pretty. And like the fact that they are all attached to strings is part of the plot. So it's like their prisons are a metal grate that is raised from the floor. So once it's like up high, their strings are blocked. They can't move around. And like when they're born, the strings come down from the heavens and attach to like the baby that's been carved by the parents. Like it's fucking awesome.
And when they die, they cut their head string off, and they go. It's really pretty.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Leave it to
no
the
idea.
Swedes. Wow. It's not all just IKEA, huh?
And like the opening shows you the rigs, I think, before the movie actually starts, and they're ridiculous. How does one? I don't know.
Do they show humans at all?
No, no.
Wow. When was this film made?
Like late 90s or early 2000s.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's called Strings?
fantastic.
Strings, yeah.
Oh, and Telepotato Pony asks if Team America counts. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. There's
true.
no humans in that either.
That's true.
And also, scrolling a little bit back, thank you very much, Fabsh, for the $5 for the show. Thank you.
Thanks, Fabs.
Hey, thank
We'll
you.
be right back, buddy.
She, Fabsh did call out you specifically, Cucumber. So, Chunk, I hope you're feeling left out.
I am all the time.
Let's see. Let's go back. We had Just Ducky had questions about makeup, about the products that you've used, and they wanted to know if they've evolved how they've evolved to accommodate allergies / sensitive skin, and if I'm moving on, like working on like big movies and sets like that, and with big companies, about the ecological impact of some of the stuff you use.
Yeah, which is all super, super valid. And it is one of kind of my biggest points of contention with our industry is that we are, depending on what shop and what production you work for, they can tend to be very wasteful of products, a lot of plastic type products. And obviously there's a lot of chemicals that get used in the production of things, which is, you know, harmful and not great for the environment. I will say, though, things have gotten better. I feel like year to year, there's constantly the search for products that are more sustainable, less toxic, more user and environment friendly. It is still not a perfect machine, but I'm happy to say that they are definitely trying to move in the right direction. And I think also too, just the fact of trying to not be wasteful of products. And I feel like more people are holding on to things and scraps and reusing a lot more. Even when it comes down to our silicone molds, like any like overpour of silicone or any like splash or whatever, like that leftover silicone that gets cured gets chopped up and recycled and put into bigger molds so that there's less waste in that aspect too. We're doing a lot of 3D printing, and they, in the 3D printing world, are making a lot of really kind of fun and innovative strides to use, like for like resin printers, stuff that's like more bio-friendly and like not as toxic, and you don't have to use chemicals to clean, like water cleaned, and a lot of fun things are happening in that aspect. So it's not a perfect machine by any means, but it is definitely getting better. And as far as makeup products are concerned, like that's traveled leaps and bounds. There's so many more products and product lines that are geared towards sensitive skin, especially this day and age with everybody. It feels like there's been such either it's a surge of skin allergy and sensitivity, or maybe it's just us becoming more aware and being able to tell. But there's a lot of companies that are really, really sensitive to that and make products specifically for people who are very sensitive. And I mean, there's just a plethora of adhesives and prosthetics and different things that we can use now on people, you know, who have different sensitivities to things. So yeah, it's not all just latex and making people break out like crazy crazy fiberglass and everything. I mean, there still are all those things, but it's getting better. It is getting better.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of pressure nowadays to like make bigger, especially bigger companies, like be more conscious about the environment and about people's needs and stuff. Which I think is great. I think that the last, I think that maybe 15, 20 years, that's been like a big push to like really make people hold themselves accountable, especially bigger companies.
Truly.
Yeah.
Hey, Fabs, thanks for that other $5. Now it's Chunk, Dino, and Ryan. So I am worth all three of you, is what I've learned today.
No, you're old news. That's what you are now. You're like 5 minutes ago.
We've moved on, Cucumber. We've moved on.
I mean, I got bunched in with Ryan, so I don't know how I feel about that, but I'll take it for right now.
At least you're outside of the parentheses.
That's true. No parentheses. Oh, man. Must be nice, guys. Ryan and I are happy in our parenthesis bubble. It's okay.
I just realized. I realized Ryan is really in really good spitting aim underneath me in this overlay.
Oh,
I killed you with spit. That's weird.
I mean, your spit, I might. I don't know. Ooh. Tiger on 31 wants to know if you watch. I guess anybody here, if you watch Adam Savage's Tested.
Yep.
All day, every day.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
great. And go ahead.
I was just gonna say, he's so passionate. Like, you can't not get excited watching him get excited about everything.
We were actually in the shop having a conversation about him this last week. He is such a fun host because he allows himself to get excited, and he is so knowledgeable about so many processes that you get this, you are rewarded because you also get to get excited, and he's not so smart that he makes you feel dumb, or it's like he allows himself to be a fan of things too and to get excited, but also he wants to have those teaching moments and wants to be able to tell you these things, and I think that is the best. He actually took a trip over to the Henson's Creature Shop in New York, and there's a little, I don't know if it's a full episode or just like a smaller but he goes over and like sees them do some puppet stuff. So he's fun.
That's awesome.
He's great. He'd be cool to meet. So he's out there.
Adam,
Watched
if
him
you're watching.
rebuild his vacuum form machine,
Oh.
like as a fluke. Like that wasn't what
Yeah.
the video was gonna be about. He was gonna do polls for like the ecto goggles,
Uh-huh.
and then he's like, well, I'm here. Just like, rebuilt his entire vacuum form machine.
Oh my gosh. And for those of you who don't know what a vacuum form machine is, it's basically, in a nutshell, a heating element. Usually at the top is best. Heats up plastic that's in a frame, and then you pull that plastic down over a form, and there's a vacuum you switch on that sucks the plastic tight, cools down, and then you have this awesome plastic object.
Yeah.
You
My
need one.
my college professor had one where the heating element was behind, and the object, the buck, was in a tray that would shoot up from the bottom, so that the plastic would go in to the element, heat up, come over, and then the buck would come up, and it was a vacuum tank. So you purge the tank first, so it was a void, and then you pop it open, so it just. It was amazing. I loved it so much.
What?
Was it loud? I feel like those tend to be terrifying, like with the hydraulics of like the buck being pushed up. It's like,
It was definitely like the industrial version for sure.
yeah.
That's really funny.
But I just always wanted one of those. It's like, oh.
Yeah. Oh. Those bigger ones can be scary though, like especially if it's the heating tray that you pull over the plastic and then you have to push it away and then do the lift and the butt comes up and it's like, and you're like pushing and you're like, oh god. This is me as a fabricator, by the way.
The whole time.
As a fabricator, do you have and it might not be like the coolest thing you ever made, but like what was like your favorite, like most satisfying build?
Ooh,
That's a good question.
that is a very good question.
Thank you.
Gosh, that's most satisfying build. I mean, I feel like quick answer, because I don't feel like I ever make anything that's so innovative as far as like puppet structure is concerned. Like, I don't feel like I'm like changing the world per se, but I feel like the most satisfying things that I've made were the bodies of the Grunaks for
Nice.
or Dark Crystal. We had so much going on, so many hands on different things. And the Grunaks were kind of my babies, as far as like I had the opportunity, like they were kind of a mock-up was made and then they were thrown my way, and then like I kind of facilitated everything after that. And again, there's a million people who work on every single creature when it comes to paint job, costuming, and everything, but I built bodies. And it just was really, really satisfying. He had these netting abdomens that was spiral boning. So they had really good side-to-side movement with no restriction. It just felt like the most complete and really nicely built puppet that I'd ever made. Just with so much going on to them, and like being able to remove arms and legs and being able to enter from multiple areas, like what there was the bottom of their torso or like between their shoulders, because they had kind of big bodies. And it just felt really good. And then it made me feel doubly good when I went over to England, and the Wrangler, who was one of our guys, Jurgen, who was supervising when he was over in America, and then when he went to England was wrangling and managing the puppets. And he was like, yeah, the Grunaks are like the puppeteer's like favorite to work with. And I was like,
Toss.
and they were really satisfying too, because they had no mechs in them. They had they were as puppety as they could get. They had eyes mounted in there and a plate for that, but just regular puppets as far as mouth flapping and like, and they were live hand too, which was fun. So they were so cute and wonderful. I love them.
Live hand. I was gonna say Melissa's one of the only guests on the show that will ever be able to use the P word this much because of all the stuff she's done.
She's life bringer. She gets a pass.
She gets a pass. Yeah, free pass.
Yeah, no. If you weren't allowed, Cucumber and Chunk would have said something by now. Oh man,
Tigeron has the best question ever.
I was waiting for you to chime in with that, Cucumber.
If you could fabricate anything from Dune, what would it be and why?
Oh man.
Look at Cucumber, excitedly waiting.
Got the
Wait,
little
what's your
happy
hand doing?
I mean, freaking name a thing, and I want to make it.
Put me in, coach.
yeah, like literally, like anything that I could get my hands on would be amazing. Obviously creatures because I'm a creature builder, right? I would love.
Sandworm for you.
I mean, I didn't want to just like spout out sandworm, but I'm like,
It's like
badass.
It's just sandworms, vultures, and mice are pretty much your options in that world.
Yeah.
The other two exist.
I mean, like that's like my inclination, right? Because I'm like a creature fabricator, but sandworm for sure. I mean, how could you not? Because I also do armor and costuming and all that too. So, and I saw in the previews, or I mean the trailers for the newer one that's coming out, and I was like, I don't know about some of those.
You're talking about the Caladan armor, that kind of slate gray, chunky.
Yeah.
Yeah, they won't be wearing that for long, I don't think. There's a lot of suits in there, so that'll be fine. But I would like this. I want to see you, because like you've made shit for Kiss. I want to see your like Sardaukar armor, your Imperial soldiers.
Oh my gosh.
That'd be cool.
That's much more exciting than I usually get asked to make Stormtrooper armor, which like you're not really supposed to just go out and make that. Like you have to get approvals from people and things and factions. So
has stopped no nerd ever.
Truth.
Yeah, for real. Well, and especially the resurgence of cosplay and how big all of that has become, it's really made it really nice and really accessible for regular people to get effects stuff. So people who are very talented, who normally wouldn't have the ability to, just because they don't have the materials, are now getting to make amazing things. Like, so you have people who are like accountants during the day and they're like making these kick-ass costumes like by night. You know, it's a very wonderful and exciting world these days.
I walked into a Michael's and they have a section where it's like you can buy materials for cosplay and stuff now. They have like Warbler and like a bunch of like EVA foam and stuff, and I was very happy about that.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
And Joann's too. Like they started selling little kits with the EVA foam. And
like Yaya Han has a whole line of stuff.
Got a whole line, and that's been for a couple of years now that she did that. And I was like, okay. like not mad at the quality, not mad at the prints, like, and I was like, somebody had to do it. Good for her.
Yeah. Dorgable just says, "Oh, I understand. Like we get asked on the reg about trooper armor. Jess and her husband do have an effects company too. They do a lot of like haunt masks and stuff. But
no!
Frozen. Oh no!
Down.
There you go. You're back.
Okay, great.
I saw myself and then I saw myself disappear on the other screen.
Watching it all happen, out of body experience, kind of. But yeah, they have their own effects company and they're awesome as well. So
very cool.
I understand. I can imagine that you get asked for trooper armor all the time.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you've like gotten to keep from a production that you've been allowed to take home, like a little prop?
Not been allowed, but you took anyway.
Shh, don't get her in trouble. I mean, maybe.
Of the ones you can talk about.
Yeah.
Well, it's not a creature, but I did get to the commercial that I just did for Freeform and Maybelline. they custom made me. They had this designer, Marco, custom make me a superhero suit.
Ooh.
And I was like, I should ask them like if I could pay for it, or like, this thing is custom made for me. Like, and at the end of the shoot, like before we were done filming, I think they saw my energy dipping maybe a little bit after the 12 hours. And they go, by the way, and then, this is the director being talked to in a headset from the producers who have to be distant. He goes, by the way, you get to keep the suit. And I was like,
That's so cool.
I was like, that definitely shot my energy way up. And just,
It was a badass suit.
so freaking cool, man. So that was definitely awesome. And then I would say, like, gosh, I mean, I feel like, without giving too much away, I feel like, generally speaking, as a fabricator or somebody who makes something, you always try and hold on to some sort of a memento or have something. So like when I did the Ursula costume for Queen Latifah, I sculpted all these suction cups for her, and before we were able to pour them up, we had to make smaller molds and cast them out of resin to make our gang mold, which had multiple, dozens of them. So we could just do one run and be done with it. And I kept some of the resin suction cups, and I still have those.
That's cool.
I also, so I worked on the show Kidding with Jim Carrey.
Oh, nice.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and I
didn't know
made...
that.
Yeah, I made Thump Thump, which is a little heart friend, and the foamy friend, and I definitely kept some of the prototypes for her.
Nice.
Yeah. So that was really cool. That was really, really fun and sweet, and also like, I got to work with Jim Carrey, which that was like on my bucket list.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so that was freaking awesome.
I bet.
And I will say he was totally like situationally appropriate, right? So like I went to his house for a fitting for Thump Thump, and he had such smart input. And I was kind of taken back by that, but then also it makes sense, right? Because he is such a physical comedian and has done so much that he's very aware of his body and very aware of physical performance, which kind of made him a wonderful candidate to switch over to performing with puppets and characters of that nature. Yeah, and he just had, I mean, because like sometimes you get people who are like, well, yeah, but it'd be cooler if, you added spikes and it could breathe fire, like real fire. You have these things that are like, maybe like, oh, the puppet's already done and there's no money or time for that. So, but he had very like insightful input, like, and his move actually, in more cases than not, was he was attempting to simplify things involved with performance. So that was like really cool experience.
I bet.
Yeah, super fun. So I have some Thump Thump stuff, and I have a little bit of everything. I've got a little bit of stuff.
A little stuff.
Yes.
I love it.
Gelfling head on her wall right now. Or something. Nothing. La, la, la.
Like,
You can't see it. That's the only blank wall in a room. The other walls are just filled with project stuff.
bodies and heads everywhere.
It's like a graveyard.
I was gonna say it'd be like a house of horrors.
Which I feel like you would also have. So
Yeah, right. Oh, and you know what? Speaking of mounted heads,
yay.
mounted head. I was on. So the reason why I got tied in with Jim Henson's Creature Shop is I was on a show that they had, the Jim Henson's Creature Shop Challenge.
Ah.
And that was on Sci-Fi Channel, and how I became associated with the company. And I got to keep a couple of the creatures that I created on that, and that was amazing. So I've got a mounted head that was a sea serpent. I've got an alien head, and I've got a big. It was my finale creature because I made it to the finale.
So cool.
Yeah, and he he smoked a pipe, and the pipe had a glowing element, and then smoke would pour out of his nostrils, and he'd like mechanical eyes and everything, and eye movement, eye blinks.
Oh, man.
super fun. Yeah. So I do.
That's awesome.
That in my house. Yeah.
That's so cool. Yeah, I remember watching that and like seeing you post pictures of it and everything. I was like, oh man, that is amazing.
Dude, I'm and it was insane, I will say, because we were literally building things in 2 and 3 days, which is an obscene turnover for things that have mech'd eyes and are foam latex, head. Like, I mean, all these processes, like, usually are like, they take up days and weeks to accomplish. So
Yeah. I mean, it's like, I guess it's like when you're like training for, a marathon or even cross country or anything like that, you always go harder than you need to when you train, so that when you get to the actual thing, it's a lot easier. So I guess maybe in the way they're trying to test your skills and see like, well, if you can do it in 2 or 3 days, then when we give you a week and a half, you won't be late.
they set me up to be a good employee, right?
Yeah.
So Ryan just asked, who would I want to fabricate more, Baby Yoda or Dobby?
Ooh. That's a tough question for Melissa.
I mean, I've got Harry Potter pillows, mischief managed.
Yeah.
Oh man.
What a Baby Yodabi.
Baby. Yes.
You know what? I don't want to bring the room down, but I'm pretty sure somebody had to make a dead Dobby for the movie when Harry Potter's carrying him around when he's dead.
Oh, must have been so satisfying.
Wow.
Stop me from going to Hogwarts. Whoop-em.
I think they really got emotional over it, didn't they?
Yeah.
I believe the interviewer type thing goes is that they actually, I mean, and again, like, Dobby was a largely digital creature, but you need that practical element to really tie not only your actors in, but your audience in. Just saying.
Yeah, we know.
Hey, Claire. What's up?
I think Baby Yodabi would definitely be the one. I feel like I love Baby Yoda, but there's a lot of Baby Yoda going on around right now, so I would have to go. I would probably have to lean more towards Dobby, just because there's not as many of him going around. But
That's
my
true.
personal aesthetic definitely is Baby Yoda. Big sweet eyes, sweet face. I actually know some of the people who worked on Baby Yoda and did like hair punching and stuff onto Baby Yoda. So
That's awesome.
got to see some like behind the scenes photos and stuff. Just
It's so cute.
Oh man.
talk about somebody who was designed to just warm your heart. Like
Seriously though.
much like Cucumber and Chunk. Am I right?
You're very right.
Well, we can't always win.
Yeah, there's definitely been a lot of things said in this show.
Hey, Corey, thanks for the sub.
Oh yeah. Who's
Hey,
that girl?
thanks.
I said, yeah. Oh yeah, who's that girl? Welcome, Corey. Corey's one of a part of our team as well.
Oh, awesome. Hi, Corey.
Yay. Well, that was you just covered the last thing I was going to ask about, which was Creature Shop Challenge. So I think it's a good time to go. I'm a little bit laggy, but that's okay. Good time to go to Dr. Know-It-All.
Skippity boppity
I was gonna say we haven't had any transition music today. But for those of you that are fresh and new, Dr. Know-It-All is our lovely multi-headed expert. He has 4 heads. They have 4 heads, I should say.
Ryan has a forehead.
That's right. They have 3 heads and a forehead, and an extra forehead floating around. Those heads look a lot like Chunk, Melissa, Cucumber, and Ryan's forehead. They will answer your questions, your advice that you have, anything you want to know, using one head at a time, one word at a time, until the answer is given, and then they will bow. Of course, for clarity, Dr. Know-It-All will repeat some of the question in the answer to make sure that we know what they're talking about, because it does get confusing. It's going to be a lot of fun. Don't worry. There is definitely no pressure, because this is always a mess, and I love it.
Except on the guest. There's always a lot of pressure on the guest.
Yeah. The guest is not allowed to make any mistakes whatsoever.
Yeah.
Don't mess up. Never. Neither is Chunk. So the order in which we'll do this is Chunk, Melissa, Cucumber, Ryan, then back to Chunk. Because if Chunk doesn't start first,
Then I
everything
break
goes to
it.
hell.
You're after Chunk, Melissa. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm after
You're
you.
good. You're good. Breathe.
I'm Chunk.
Cucumber.
And we.
I love the chunk.
Don't look at me. I mean to alarm you.
It was a very aggressive laugh.
I'm aggressive for everything.
That's fair. Oh man, Tigeron wants to know, Dr. Know-It-All, what would be the best material to fabricate Ryan's forehead and mohawk? Shut up. I need coffee, okay? I didn't have coffee today.
What material? Is that what it was? Oh,
Yeah,
there
what
it is.
material to fabricate?
Ryan's
Head
Must
B.
made
from
camel
Skin.
with
added
wax
Or
banana
cream
filling.
then
No.
you
can
Kill
more
camels
fuck. So
creating
fur. Fur.
Meaning fur. Ryan.
cough.
Just
cough.
talk. We're derailing.
Supplies. I don't know.
I'm gonna bow out of that one. Where did you go, Ryan?
Froze.
I lost the sentence and it just was like I don't know what's happening anymore.
he got overwhelmed by finding out what he was composed of. The wires all crossed.
It's a dangerous thing knowing where you come from.
I tell you.
We all remember that age. Anyways, Dr. Know-It-All, what should I do? Corey wants to know, what should I do to fight off seasonal depression? Good question.
to
Right?
Off.
Seasonal.
depression
You
Must.
Drink.
purple
blood
From.
Your.
cousins
favorite
Face.
I saw Chunk going. It was like,
I like how Ryan
Ryan
when
left his
does-
try at home today.
Ooh.
I like that you suggested it. You didn't like. You weren't like doing. You're like, can I?
I was
You,
watching
like, asked for
Chunk, and I was like,
permission.
"Are we? Are you?"
Clearly, we weren't.
Oh,
It
God.
sounded done.
Tigeron, if you have a question and you don't think you should ask it knowing the show, then maybe you shouldn't ask it. But if you're just saying that because you want us to tell you to ask it and it's not that bad, then you can ask it. No promises, we'll answer it. But let's see where we at. Corey, Dr. Know-It-All, what are you doing to celebrate Thanksgiving?
Two.
Celebrate.
Thanksgiving
I
Am
Going.
to
bake
15
Turkeys.
into
a
large
Pie.
where
I
will
Soon.
serve
it
to
Others.
at
the
big
Lunar.
module.
there. Oh, okay.
You nodded and it looked like you were about.
I didn't mean to.
A big lunar module. Got it. That sounds delicious. Thank you, Dr. Know-It-All. Telepotato Pony wants to know, Dr. Know-It-All, what are the names of everyone in KISS? Wrong answers only, I'm going to say.
the
Names.
Jesus.
Of
Everyone.
in
Kiss.
are
Star.
Malcolm
Star Malcolm.
Moon.
Yodabi
Mr.
Fernando
Mr. Fernando.
Tinklebottom.
the
Second.
Junior
And
Taserface.
All right. No.
I think it was the. Ryan had already given up because he's like, nope, done. Oh, wow.
Telepotato Pony says, why? I didn't know there were so many members.
Yeah.
Well, that's how they tour. They have a lot of backups.
Yeah, when one of them gets injured, they just paint up the next one and send them out.
I can attest to this. I hang them up in the closet. The backup.
The dead bodies when they're done? Just.
Not dead.
Sorry.
Yet
Cryostasis.
Cryostasis, Scott, of course, naturally. Okay, let's do this one more. Tigeron wants to know what materials would be best suited to fabricate the pleasure musket from Perception Check. You'll have to give a brief description for our guest of the pleasure musket.
L.I.
Let
it.
Ryan do it.
Nope.
Oh, let Ryan do
No,
it.
I'll do it.
Ryan's the
I don't have
DM
that
for the
kind of
show.
time. The pleasure musket was a tipped weapon based on a game of Snake Oil that we played. So pleasure musket is it's a gun that shoots pleasure. Basically, it's an orgasm projectile.
There we go.
Orgasm.
There we go. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, but I'm just here to confirm.
Yes. So, what would be the best materials to fabricate the pleasure musket?
Pleasure Musket is also a cucumber's name in a few circles.
I mean, I'm not wrong.
20 kids later. Oh God.
The
Pleasure must.
Musket.
2 words. You're good.
Would
have
Many
Mahogany.
surfaces.
and
ivory.
fittings.
On.
It's
Silk.
Carry.
Case.
and
It.
Wood.
Be.
made
Of.
The.
Strongest.
sexiest
Finest.
Vibratingest.
Metal.
known
To.
Pleasure seekers.
World.
wide.
Worldwide's one word, but okay.
You know what? He got through that to that world very quick, so I'm gonna give it to him.
We got there.
You got that.
Garmin the Grouch says it's not the size that matters, it's how you load your musket. Good. Also, I like how he said it's Cucumber's name in some circles, and Weird Judge says like a circle in hell circles. Yes. Yep. That's exactly
Hey,
where he's known.
The
as
people who
much.
go to hell know how to party, so yup.
It's very true. Wow. Well, thank you, Dr. Know-It-All. And
My
thank you,
pleasure,
Melissa.
musket.
No, leave that out of the frame, please. Thank you, Melissa, for coming by. This was a lot of fun. And I love sharing amazing people with our lovely chat. So our pleasure musket that works with works with pirates too.
Can that be one of our pins for our Patreon?
Yes, a pleasure musket. I love it.
Thank you so much for having me, you guys. I've had the pleasure of watching you a few Thursdays, and it's been really, really fun getting to interact with all of you. You guys are wonderful.
Yay.
Yay!
Yo.
Thanks again. And so yeah, if you want to follow Melissa and all her work, we can put the Instagram back on the thing. Do you have like any other way for people to watch you or contact you or anything if you'd like?
Yeah.
CCTV
Yeah,
code,
home address.
something like that.
Yeah, Nest code.
So I have a 900 number.
Get a pen.
So Melissa Mad Effects is my handle on Instagram and Twitter. Basically, I spend most of my digital time on Instagram, so definitely contact and follow through there. I post a lot on my stories just for the nature of what my work is. I can't always have stuff up, as a permanent post, but I definitely can have certain things up for 24 hours. So I have a lot of fun things that I end up posting on that. And yeah, Melissa Bad Effects.
Yeah. Follow, see all the amazing things she's done in the past and everything she will be doing. Thank you again. I would love to have you on the show sometime in the future again. Once you do even more amazing things to talk about and just to, fuck around with us the whole time. Because it's been fun. But yeah, we don't have Dune Book Club today, right?
No Dune Book Club. Come back next
right.
week for Dune Book Club.
Next week for Dune Book Club. If for those of you in the chat, give Melissa a follow. If you're new to the fun today, make sure to follow our Discord, subscribe if you can, or at least follow the channel to watch all our cool shows. We got lots of stuff all week long. So make sure to check us out. Join our Discord too if you haven't, even if you've been watching, because we do talk a lot on there and there's a lot of things happening and you can put your own stuff on there. So please join us and on Discord. Stay tuned tomorrow for Roll for Initiative and Trash Your Piece Theater.
Yay.
And which Roll for Initiative is at 2 and then Trash Your Piece at 7:30. Yay. Wonderful. Melissa, again, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure, and we will definitely catch up and talk after this is done. But yeah, we had a lot of fun, and so thanks everybody for joining us. Are we going to raid somebody this time since we're not doing? Yeah, who are we raiding?
We're raiding Warmix.
Warmix. So stay tuned. Raid with Wade. Show some love, and we'll see you all tomorrow for Roll for Initiative. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye.
See you later.
Bye.